Good morning and good evening, and welcome to Guna Matters, and also simultaneously featuring Cannon Fodder. Now, you'll find that Alex did mention before he's gone out on a holiday or a break at least that I will do some shows for him. Pardon the background, I needed to use that because I am at work, so I can't obviously display my work files on social media. And of course, whatever has been saying out of my mouth, everybody that hears me, Glenwyn from Guna Matters, there's a disclaimer. That doesn't mean that Cannon Fodder and Alex and the family of Cannon Fodder share the same views as what I share. I just want to get it out of the way. I think he left also in the below comments. He left that disclaimer as well. So whatever I say, whatever you hear from me, is not necessarily shared by Canon Fodder TV's view. So as long as we understand that, then we're all golden. So again, welcome to Guna Matters, or Canon Fodder featuring Guna Matters, and we also, like I say, stream simultaneously. So before we go any further, before we talk about today's subjects, let's do it after this. Haven't seen that for a long time now. Nonetheless, again, welcome back. And we wish Alex all the best where he's with him, his family, his wife, and having a good time on their break, well-deserved break. So yeah, let's get into it. Transfer updates and also rumors, and of course what's happening in the American tour with Arsenal. So let's start with the American tour. So there was two games so far, preseason friendlies, and there was a MLS skills challenge. And skills challenge we won, and we won obviously our game versus the MLS All Stars. Now there was a lot of things being said about our new players in the preseason. So it was said that Timber is brilliant. It was said that Havertz can't even chase a ball or control a ball and put any glove to a on goal shot. And that narrative changed so quickly after he scored the last and final goal that made it 5-0 in the preseason friendly against MLS All Stars. It was a crossed ball from, I think, either Saka or somebody, and he chased the ball and he shot home with a goal and made it 5-0. So in the same challenge of MLS skills challenge, it was crossed balls. He either control it and shoot at goal, and he didn't get one on target. And that was the narrative, that he's not good enough. And then the narrative changed from so many Arsenal fans that, oh, wow, that was a well-taken goal. So Arsenal fans really confuse me as an Arsenal fan what they want. I've never been real about my stance on Kai Havertz. So I'm not a big fan of Kai Havertz. I'm also not a big fan of how he plays or what he's done in Chelsea for the last 3 seasons, and we've paid 65 million for him. That remains to be proven to me that obviously he is a player. Look, there's a player in there. I'm sure there is, because when he was in Germany, he played very well. Or was it Germany? Leipzig, yeah. Or wherever he played. I don't even follow. I didn't follow him. But nonetheless, wherever he played, apparently was a good player. But also, again, wasn't sure what position he was playing, either centre forward or was playing centre mid. I don't know. So Havertz to me is still a mystery. But before going further, I think yeah. Next to me, you see my big ugly face there. You can obviously put your comments over that big ugly face and share your views about the preseason friendlies thus far. And obviously, the next friendly we had was on Saturday late evening at SA time, 11 o'clock, and obviously 10 o'clock UK time. And we went down to our fiercest rivals in the Premier League, which is Manchester United. Big ups to Manchester United. They look very sharp. Again, don't take anything away from what they've done. The result to me doesn't matter at this stage. It's all about preparing for the PNL or the Premier League. Sorry. So a lot of confusion also went out that the United fans, or rather Arsenal fans, have said that we have to win this game. It's a must-win game. Never heard that a preseason friendly is a must-win game. As long as you get out of the team what you've planned to do and what you have was the objective of your preseason. If you've done that, then you obviously succeeded, irrespective of what the result was, whether it's a 5-0 win over the MLS All-Stars or whether it's a 2-0 loss against Manchester United or even against Barcelona on tomorrow night or Thursday night. So it doesn't matter the result. What matters is that your opinion matters on Guna matters. Sorry, that was just in the flow of the moment. But true, your opinion do matter on Guna matters and obviously on Cannon Fodder, because that is what it's about. It's about you. It's about your opinion. It's about how you feel that has been said and rumored out in the media. So yeah, again, coming back to what is preferred. If your objective is to see where your first 11, your first 20 players of the squad can gel together and it worked. It's cohesiony well set up, and then you have succeeded in your preseason. But what I've seen against the Manchester United, there were certain plays of well done, but there's also again the stubbornness of the manager. Now, second half came and you obviously saw that Manchester threw in a whole new team and we sat with the same 11, except that we've brought in Tierney for Tomiyasu. Now, I want to, well, it said that Zinchenko is obviously injured, but what I like to see is that he's mixing up the back line in terms of the wings of the wing backs, or rather the fullbacks. He's mixing it up a little bit, and hopefully he can still maintain that with Tierney and Tomiyasu, and obviously have the Zinchenko there. But the stubbornness that is brought out of him that I saw in that game against Manchester United was, it's like you have to win it. No, you don't have to win your preseason games. All you need to do is set an objective to take you into the actual games that matters. Look, it will obviously bring some confidence if you do win, if you do score, if you do take out your rivals. That it will bring all that confidence, and it will also bring a mentality of winning games and going forward into your Premier League, that you will start winning and can contain and maintain the winnings. But for Arsenal fans to go as far as this, you have to. It's a must-win game. You have to win the game, and we're gonna win you this, and we're gonna win you that. 7-0, 6-0, 5-1, 2-1, and whatever the predictions was. It was always just about to get your team to gel, to see where the new players are, to see where your fitness are, and how is your mentality. That should be the objective of a preseason, is to get all sorts of marriages work for you. If it was a Rice and a Partey, you didn't try it, but at least try it to see. If it was, in this case, was a Rice, Havertz, and Odegaard midfield setup, did it work for you? In my opinion, no, it didn't work. So change it, and into next game with Barcelona, which is also a tough opponent, play a possible three midfield in there. A Rice and Partey double pivot with a Havertz and or not a Havertz, a Odegaard and perhaps a Trossard. Trossard did well in the MLS All-Star game where he played a left-sided eight. So try the four of them together and bring different scenarios where you can have a plan A, a plan B, a plan C, up to Z. So, I mean, if we all know, we have been struggling to see a plan B. We've seen a plan A, and that was it. Obviously, it can be down to the lack of depth. Now we've got depth. Now we've got midfielders galore. I mean, we've got Jorginho, we've got El Nene, we've got Rice, we've got Partey, and of course we've got Havertz, and we've got Odegaard. We can also push in Trossard in there. You can also throw in Timber, because Timber has that ability to play up there. Then you have Tierney had a brilliant game, in my opinion, on Saturday night. He came into the inverted fullback. Then he was out there. He was never caught in the act of not defending. That is what I've seen from Tierney. Tierney, even though he came into an inverted fullback situation, he was always up to go back and defend when there was required of him to defend. With what we've seen in the last season, we didn't see that. We had Zinchenko in the inverted fullback, but he never came to retreat or retrieve the fullback position again. So Tierney, to me, did it very well against United. Yes, there was here and there where he gave the ball away, but it's all up to how fit you are, how's your mental strength at this stage of the preparation. So you need to understand all those scenarios rather than going for a result. A result can come, but if you have the important parts in place, like the mentalities, the strong mentality, the ability to run up and down, the fitness part, that is obviously where I alluded to, and then of course the cohesion, the camaraderie, the fact that we can gel together like we've done last season. The new guys has to be filtered into that ability where how do they fit in with the various scenarios, with the various plans, the various transitions, the various formations, that sort of thing. We have to implement all those type of things pre-season and rather going for a result. The result is not the ultimate at this stage, but the preparation of the mind, the physicality, the strength, the cohesion, the things that make the marriage work. So Arteta's got a lot of things to do still. I mean, I've seen that game against Manchester United. A lot of things he still have to do. And we're not even there yet. We're playing our next game against Barcelona. I would like to see, obviously, what he's going to do in that regard. So that, in a nutshell, it's not a nutshell. With all that being said, I have gone over my time with that. But the next segment is players that might be on their way. It is still these guys. Let me just take this away. Let me take that away. Right, let's go back there. So Bellingham is still rumored to leave. Partey is still rumored to leave. Tierney is still rumored to leave. Then, of course, we know that Cedric and Nuno Tavares only took 5. There's still more. Only took these 5. Then there's still obviously Cedric and Tavares that we know the club or the manager would wanna move on. So this is the possible exits. but Mikel Arteta obviously came out to say that the other day in the pre or post match interviews, is that Thomas Partey is part of his plans. And there's also a question that was asked to him: can Thomas Partey and Declan Rice play together? And he said, and I quote, that was always in the plan. So whether Thomas Partey is staying or leaving, I'm not sure. If the player feels that he's a replacement, or the replacement for him was Declan Rice, because if you've seen the game on Saturday, when he came on, he was also at right back. He in fact finished the game at right back. What is the story with Arteta and Partey being a right back? He's not a right back. Although he played very well there, doesn't mean that that's his position. However, to me, there's still this thing about Partey might just leave, because that is what I see. That is what I vision in terms of what's happening on the pitch. What has been said in the media from Arteta and the club doesn't show the reality on obviously on the pitch. So there's still talks that he might leave. Obviously, there's clubs, a lot of clubs in Europe and in the Saudi Arabia Pro League that are interested in Thomas Partey. And he still has 2 years on his contract. So if I believe if the offer is a lucrative offer for Partey, I'm sure the club would let him go. I personally would not want that, because you immediately weaken the midfield if you take Thomas Partey and sell him, unless you have an alternative. And I think the alternative is, I've heard earlier, some media outlets are saying that Romeo Lavia is frustrated with Liverpool taking so long to really act, although they have agreed upon a personal terms, but Liverpool has not yet made contact with Southampton. But Chelsea and Arsenal are still behind the scenes looking and watching this situation. So Thomas Partey could still well be gone by the end of this summer window. Ideally, you don't want to let him go, because you want him to obviously be part of the team, as Arteta has said that he is always part and is a huge, important player for Arsenal to be part of the team this next season. But I'm sure if the price is right, Partey will probably leave. Yeah, so please don't forget to like, share, and also subscribe to Guna Matters and to Cannon Fodder. We are streaming simultaneously on the platforms, both channels, on YouTube, and of course on Cannon Fodder TV Facebook page and Guna Matters Twitter feed. That is where the next one is Folarin Balogun. Now, Folarin Balogun has come out to say that he's very, very impressed with Arteta being relentless, after he's made a huge stride in a comment that said that he won't go for another loan spell. He wants to play permanently for Arsenal, or he wants to play permanently elsewhere. He didn't say in so many words that he won't play permanently elsewhere. What he said was he doesn't want to be on another loan spell. He wants to play football and first team football. Now, so far, he have not been very, very prolific in front of goal. He haven't scored one goal. He missed 2 sitters in the Germany games. And then, of course, he was very influential in the game against MLS All-Stars. Now, being an American citizen now. His name is very huge amongst the Arsenal fans in America. And I've seen a few footage here and there from him being part in the American squad. It's a good situation for Arsenal to have, is where their fans in America obviously rate this guy very much. I would firstly also not sell him. I would not sell him for any reason. We have seen what Eddie could do. Eddie has done pretty decent when he came on for Jesus, when Jesus was injured. Pardon me. But we have not seen what he can do in the Premier League. We have not seen what Balogun can do in the Premier League. We've seen what Eddie could do in the Premier League. So if you want to get rid of a Balogun from a business point of view, it makes sense. But from a football point of view, it doesn't make sense. So I'd rather keep him and let him fight for his position, because it's going to be a lot of games to play, a lot of games. So I believe he could play anything between 20 and 30 games this next season, because of our squad depth. If we keep the squad depth as it is, and also get rid of the fringe players, maybe getting another player here and there, which I will speak of now after, another attacking player would see us challenge for a lot of competition this season. So I believe Balogun has to stay. I believe he has to fight for his position, because, like I say, in my mind, he will play close to 20, 25, 30 games the next season, or in all competitions. And that is enough game time for a striker. I mean, if he does well, he can even become the number one striker. So he has to fight for his position, because Gabriel Jesus is not going to score us 15, 20 goals. He will maybe create a couple of goals here and there, and score like he scored now 9 or 12 goals in the last season. So his goal contribution will probably be between 15 and 20. However, that will include assists. But Balogun, for what we've seen in France, it's going to be totally different in the Premier League. So I would let him stay. I will keep him. I will give him that chance to fight for his position, and possibly give you 15 Premier League goals and a couple of assists here and there. For his first season, full season as an Arsenal player, that should be more than enough in a 2025 sort of game per season. And but if you want to make the bucks, then of course they don't want anything less than 50 million. However, there is quite a bit of people, pardon me, clubs in Europe that are interested in him. As we know, it is Marseille, it's Inter Milan, it's Juventus. So yeah, I don't know. It depends on what we're gonna see happening in the next couple of days. So yeah, I mean that to me is pretty much what I can say regarding that. The next one, also again, the rumors are still there. Kieran Tierney might still leave. I think it's Celtic, and of course Aston Villa, Unai Emery, and Eddie Howe has always been a fan of Kieran Tierney. That has obviously quieted down, but Tierney said he's happy at the club, but his future is not up to him. So again, if the players come in to make bids for Tierney, then there's going to be so many things to consider. 25 million for a player like Tierney is too shabby, because obviously he's very, very injury prone. I would still keep Tierney. Like I said, he had a very good game against Manchester United on Saturday night as a fullback, and an inverted fullback is that he came back and he stood his duties as a defender. So when you defend, or rather, when you are a player and you play in a certain position, that position is your first and foremost priority, like goalkeeping. You are a goalkeeper, number one. You can't go and play in the midfield. So you first need to be a goalkeeper. So you have to be a left back first because that way you start your position in the game. During the game, there's transitions, there's changes, there's this and that. And in this case, Tierney being a inverted fullback, coming into the middle, assist and occupy and cramp, not cramp, sort of solidify the midfield more and put more bodies in there and overwhelm the opponent in the middle. And when there's required of you to go defend, that is your first and foremost position is to defend. And he did that brilliantly, in my opinion, on Saturday night. He contained the right winger in Anthony. He also showed Anthony who's boss. I'm the left back here. You don't pass me unless I say so. That sort of attitude Tierney had, and to let him go this season is going to really, really hurt us. So we need to obviously look at how we can maintain our stance in all the competitions. We've got Champions League, we've got FA, we've got Premier League, and of course we've got the Carabao Cup. So we need to maintain all these competitions with our squad depth in place. The rotation is very key. We've got a lot of players to rotate and quality. What I've also taken out of that game from Manchester United is that our bench was suddenly looking a bit stronger, apart from Vieira. Apart from Vieira, apart from the players that came on, well, it's basically just Vieira that came on that didn't do too bad. Must say where praise is due, you need to obviously give it, but also when there's critique to be made, then that should be done. So yeah, I think if we're gonna let Tierney go, then we're gonna have to really replace him with somebody similar or better. So I haven't heard of any players that might come in that position. So last but not least is an attacker, a player that has been linked to us and obviously to City and Chelsea. And this could be a very, very good player to hijack from the likes of Chelsea and City. We need a player of quality to challenge Saka. Now, Saka has been playing almost every game last season. You could see the fatigue the last couple of games of the season, and we didn't have somebody of good quality with a left foot, obviously, to challenge him for that position. This player obviously scored 2 goals last season, but he also had, I think, 9 or 12 assists. So if he can't score goals, he can assist, but his temperament is to take on players. His temperament is to run at defenders, and a good squad player to have. Also from Crystal Palace, probably don't want him to sell him to a rival Premier League team. However, like I say, Chelsea, Manchester City are also interested in him. Manchester City obviously have lost Mahrez to the Saudi league, and then of course Chelsea wants everybody again. So what a good opportunity for us to hijack a player of his quality. Has been playing in the Premier League, has been playing on the highest level in Crystal Palace, and he's been one of the first names on that list of Palace team players. So Michael Olise, being a French player, 21 years old only, he can only become better. And for what we've seen so far, what an opportunity to take a Premier League proven, which is always a cliche, but an opportunity to take a Premier League proven player and hijack our London rivals and obviously our challengers of the league to challenge them on a player like Michael Olise. So that was basically all the segments and the players and the rumors for today. Um, so yeah, let's recap. It was the players that I've mentioned now as Michael Olise, that we are interested in maybe to hijack Chelsea and City for. Then of course Kieran Tierney has said that he is very happy at the club, but his future is not up to him. However, I will keep Tierney because the rotation of the team will probably mean that he will be less injured. Yes, I've said it. He will be less injured. And he will be my first choice left back over Zinchenko because Zinchenko first priority is not to defend. His priority is to attack. Tierney's first priority is to defend. I've seen that. It has been evident. And he has been brilliant in certain plays of an inverted fullback. So he can do the job. Why we have to sell him, it's beyond my understanding. I will only sell Tierney because of his injury problems. I won't sell him otherwise. He has proven to me that he can play in that role as a left back or as an inverted fullback. He can. And then, of course, Thomas Partey was one of the players that's never going to stop talking about. There is still rumors that is linking him away from the club. Then, of course, Fuller and Balogun, I won't also not let go right now because, again, rumors are linking him to Marseille, Inter Milan, PSG, and of course Juventus, and also the likes of Brighton and West Ham is also in the mix. So I would not let these three players go because they have shown, well, not all of them. Partey and Tierney have shown that they are quality to stay at the club. Balogun, I will still give him that opportunity to fight for his position. I will rather have him in the squad, not knowing what he can do, than having Eddie in the squad, knowing what Eddie have done. So Fuller and Balogun, in my opinion, can score you 15 plus goals if he play regularly. It's going to be tough in the Premier League. This is not League A. This is the Premier League, but give him the chance to show that he can score goals. He's more of a prolific striker that can score you goals than Eddie and Jesus together. So yeah, that is my opinion. Guna matters, and I just want to say again, the disclaimer is that my view is not necessarily the view of Cannon Fodder and the family of Cannon Fodder TV. They don't share necessarily the same views that I do. However, controversial, Alex can Alex can talk for himself. Yeah. So, without any further ado, please do not be scared to hit the like, to subscribe to Guno Matters, and subscribe to Cannon Fodder, and obviously share with your friends to say that Glenwyn is in London. You see here behind me, I'm in front of the Emirates. I'm in front of the Emirates. So that is basically it, guys. Leave your comments, leave your opinions, because your opinion matters. And that is what it's all about. It's not about me. It's not about Alex. It's not about Cannon Fodder or Gunnar Matters. It's about your opinion. It's about what you see, how you perceive it, and how you take what we give you as being rumored out there. So yeah, I think that has come to an end now. Again, Thomas Partey, Balogun, Kieran Tierney, in my opinion, have to stay because we're gonna need them. And then, of course, Michael Olise, I believe, is a good option other than Mohamed Kudus to challenge for Bukayo Saka. Again, thank you for watching. Thank you for taking the time out. And be blessed, be safe. And you have watched Cannon Fodder TV, simultaneously streaming with Guna Matters.